Oh, my van is a mess, everybody. It is such a mess. I wish I could move. Oh no, never mind. Watching a little Raptor this morning play a little 2-Point Museum, which I'd love to get the game, but games are expensive. I don't have the money for that. Usually any of the games I get are like the free ones that come out like on the Steam sale or whatever, and they'll have like free ones, but
the SAPs
or
inside the,
you know, $10 ones or something. Maybe occasionally I might get a $20 game, but I'm pretty sure this one's like $45 or something. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
Like you can make a room more powerful by putting.
But it looks like a fun game.
Decorations in there. Yeah.
I like the whole 2.0 series, anyways.
If you
But
build a break room and put more chairs in there, it'll make the break room more decorated. Actually,
we might as well turn that off, I guess. Actually, we can just turn this whole thing off. So that so we can charge better. I do not feel like going and doing anything right now, but I need to get it done. We were gonna do a more high intensity workout today, but then I just re-looked at my schedule and I have no idea what day of the week it is. So when I was looking at my training plan, I had no idea what day I was on. I thought this week I had Monday is my recovery day, but I guess not. Today is. We're gonna try and follow this as good as we can. So my van is such a mess right now, as you can see. Such a mess. I need to do some cleaning, but maybe not cleaning. I need to do some organizing is really what I need to do. I have the vans running right now, trying to charge my batteries because they're so low. I should get a decent charge today. It is supposed to be warm today and tomorrow. So I think what we're gonna do is maybe stay here through Monday night. And then, because Tuesday is supposed to be cold and wet and all that kind of stuff, so we might move. I don't know where we're gonna move, but we might move. I'd love to just go across the freeway into the Mazatol wilderness area. There's pine something. I think it might just be Pine Mountain Wilderness area too, that's right across the way, that has some trails. It would be cool. But I don't know. I don't know what the cell service is, so if I know Mazatol, I'm not going to be able to live stream that. Pine Mountain, I doubt, because it looks like, I mean, there's a couple peaks you can go up onto, but I don't think you'll have good cell service. Now we're taking a quick ad break. got crap in my eyeballs too. I have a line right here for my boost that I don't use anymore. I just need to pull out of there. I look at it all the time. It'd be easy for me to get rid of, and I just don't. But my dog, look at Nara. She's looking at me like, hey, are you getting ready yet or what? Let's go. That was totally, did you see that look she gave me? Holy cow. She's like, come on, you lazy butt. Let's go. That was such a look that she just gave me. Holy cow. Oh, my dog, she's funny sometimes. That look she just jumped up and looked up here at me was like, that was priceless. I love that. She's like, that was totally a like judgmental, like, come on, you lazy bastard, get going. I don't feel like it. I am like, oh, yesterday's 21 miles. Kind of wore on me. Like, I don't feel like super tired, but my legs, it's like stretching my legs. I'm like, oh, that feels so good. There she is again. She's still looking at me like, come on. She's like, look, see, I just go right back outside again. She's funny. I was noticing this morning too. Well, it was really last night. I mean, I noticed it this morning, but last night is where I like noticed it. These issues that I'm like, why am I not having network connectivity right now? It's like I have like super like great signal. Like in this section, I always have super great signal. Well, I noticed last night that, ooh, excuse me, the cell signal would just sit, I would just be sitting here, nothing to block anything, and it would go from like 4 bars of 5G UW to 1 bar of 4G LTE. And then like a little bit later, it would go right back up to 5GW. Oh gosh dang, 5G UW. So I was like, what is going on with the cell tower over here? Because we've never had issues like that before. And, you know, with the signal in this area being like that. And now it makes sense. Because I was just watching the cell tower stuff go back and forth, and it was so weird. So it's definitely a cell tower issue. Because I only have one cell tower to jump on right here. Oh, I don't know what to wear. It's chilly. It's not like chilly. It's chilly because there's like a slight breeze, which is a little bit chilly because there's still a lot of moisture in the ground. But it's also warm, and that sun is just gonna get even warmer and warmer. What we're just gonna do, obviously 1 cup of coffee was not enough this morning. We're just gonna do just our 10K loop today. I thought about like jumping down the backside and doing what would essentially be a little bit longer, but I don't think so. We're just gonna do our 10K loop. Lots of people have seen it. I'm not bored of it yet, so there's that. But I mean, the views are so cool. I don't know how you can get bored of it. It'll be really super slow today. Like my averages might be 13-minute miles or oh, I got a little throat I don't know what you call it, frogginess, I guess, that needs to break free, which would be from not having enough coffee. Oh, my hair's going all crazy today, but whatever. It actually doesn't look too bad. Wish my hair looked like that all the time. I've been up for, what time is it? Yeah, I've been up for 3 hours. I still, like, I finished my cup of coffee probably 2 hours ago. It was a good cup of coffee too. Because I had to switch, I was able to switch back to my normal beans. And I was like, oh, there is a huge difference between those nasty, what brand was it? Pete's, I think. Because I had to buy that. It was when I was down here, and you can't get the stuff I get because I get the Montana Coffee Traders stuff. This stuff is so good. This is my favorite. This right here. That's my favorite. Between this one and then they have an organic. It's from, I think, Mexico. It's like, I don't remember what it's called though. But it's a dark roast. This is a medium roast. And both of them are really good. But I think I like this one better. Normally I like a dark roast better, but I like this medium roast. This Montana morning really good. It's really good. Okay, well I need to get changed because I haven't even changed yet. I am not ready. Not ready. My dog is pressuring me to get going and she's not even ready. You're not ready yet. You gotta get dressed too. Oh, geez, what was that? Holy cow. Come here. I'll at least get you dressed. Yeah, let's get you dressed. Oh, sorry. You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. There you go. Hey, hold on. We gotta get you dressed. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. There you go. Good job, sweet girl. That's funny. She was like, I started to put her harness on there and she could see I didn't have anything in my hand. she backed up like, wait a minute. I get a treat when you put this thing on me. Don't be trying to get out of it. That's what she was saying. Don't be trying to get out of this. Ooh, it is bright out. Where do I want to put this? Here, maybe? While I get dressed? That sun's a little bright, but... And then I'm going to turn my vehicle off. Oh, I need to flip the switch too. Need to flip the switch. Need to flip my isolator switch so I'm not overcharging my vehicle battery. Huh. I'm not even ready yet. I'm in my frickin' sweats and t-shirt. It's bright out here. It's freaking gorgeous out though. So quiet. Like I just get to hear an occasional airplane. Nobody has gone by in a 4-wheeler or OHV even down on the main road. So that right there, those mountains right there, that's I don't remember what those ones are called. Just on the other side of those is Mazatzal. And then right over here, the ones that I've seen right there, that's the Pine Mountain Wilderness, or Pine, yeah, something like that. Oh. Oh, everybody's bored of me not running yet, I guess. Oh, my dog's at it. They left already. She's like, you're taking too long. Oh, yeah, she has. Holy cow. She's all the way up. She gave up. She's like, I'm leaving without you, you fool. She's totally just given up and left me. She's like, I know where we're going. You'll catch up. You fool. She's like way up there. I mean, she's far enough up the trail that her Fi caller just sent me a notification telling me that she's not with me. See if I can show you guys. Oh, she's coming back though. Gosh dang it, here she comes back. She was way up there though. She was out here, the road goes up here, and she was up there. Which is a long ways. But you didn't have to come back, we're going this way. I would have caught up. I would have caught up. Is my overlay working? It says I've gone 0.1 miles already. I haven't even moved. Oh well. Okay, climbing our mountain, because no matter what, I need to get vert. Even on recovery day, we'll just take it easy. Gosh dang, it's so bright out here today that even with my sunglasses on, it's hard for me to see. Of course, I'm looking like straight into the sun, which doesn't help. Oh, we're gonna take it super easy, because most likely I'm gonna have to do something with her tonight too, so we'll just climb this here mountain, and then probably tonight we'll probably climb this here mountain again. I got stuff in my eyeballs. What's going on? Something stuck on my sunglasses, hitting my eyeballs. Oh, like right now, it is absolutely gorgeous out here. For most of you, I am probably streaming an hour later than normal, because most of the US last night changed to daylight savings time. However, I'm in Arizona, so for me, it's the same time as it has been. Because they just stay on standard time. Which, I get the arguments for both. Like, there's one guy, I'm from Montana, so for me, I would still just go with standard time all the time, get rid of the daylight savings time. But a lot of people like the idea of doing savings time better, especially the people in the northern US, which I get their arguments, because like I watched a video the other day, and it's some guy from Chicago, and he was talking about how, like, for the South, like Arizona, it's not a big deal, because, you know, the morning time and nighttime and all that. I don't know what my dog's doing back there. She's usually way ahead of me, but she must be more interested in critters today. So like his big argument is like in the summertime, you know, sunrise would be at like, you know, 4:15 in the morning, and then sunset would be at like, you know, 8:45 or 9 o'clock. Instead of, you know, 9 something for sunset and 5:15, so there's more daylight hours during the daytime. And I'm like, one, for me it wouldn't matter because I'm from Montana, so I'm even further north than he is in Chicago, so I'm even more affected by, you know, that change. But it's like the people that make those arguments, for one, what does it matter when the sunrise comes up? You're not getting up at 4:15 in the morning. You're not getting up at 5:15 in the morning. You're probably not even getting up until like 6 something, so it doesn't freaking matter to you when the sunrise is, because you're sleeping through sunrise. It's not like you're getting up when sunrise is to go and do whatever for your day, because you probably have an 8 to 5 job and you're getting up like an hour ahead of time to go to work. So what does it freaking matter? And two, how many people are like doing stuff until sunset, like outside and stuff? Not a whole lot. Like these same people are complaining about, well, then the sun's like, well, even if it's setting at like 8:30 versus 9:30, it's like by 8:30 you're probably getting ready for bed and all that kind of stuff. So does it really matter? No. So you're just complaining to complain. And I get the reasoning that a lot of people like going to daylight savings, because then, you know, when they take their kids to school, actually it doesn't even make sense to me. Most of the time when you take your kids to school, it would be darker. Because now instead of the sunrise, say here, the sunrise is at like 6 something, it'd be 7 something. Like, that argument doesn't even make sense. I don't know why it would really matter. Because one of the arguments I saw was, oh, it's if you went, that's what it was. If it went to daylight savings time full time and got rid of standard time, then in the winter time you would be taking your kids to school in the dark all the time, or kids would be going to school in the dark, which whoop-de frickin' do, who cares, for one. I mean, I get from like a safety reason, if you're a parent and your kid was walking to school or something, it'd be nicer if it wasn't in the dark. But still, whoop-de frickin' do. I don't have kids, so yeah, whatever. Oh, there's a little breeze. It's actually, that breeze isn't chilly anymore. It's actually kind of warm. This ground must be heating up enough now. But here's my argument against either going permanently daylight savings time or permanently standard time. Most of the world is going just straight standard time. So why would you just change it? Like, why wouldn't you just do standard time? Like, that's what I don't get. Like, just go standard time. Because if you don't, then not that it's like really matters, but you know, let's just take you'd be off an extra hour like most of the year, I guess is what I'm saying, from the rest of the world. So you'd have a time zone where you're 2 hours difference, just the next time zone over, versus 1 hour difference. So if you were somebody on the edge of that time zone, that could really mess with you, you know. If say you're working somewhere. I mean, Arizona, their state, it doesn't matter what they do nationally, you know, to get rid of or maintain standard time or daylight savings time. Let's say they go straight to daylight savings time. Arizona's still just going to do standard time. Like, they're not going to differ from that. It's not like all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, well, I guess we're just going to go savings time since the rest of the nation is. No. So if you're over in, say, like San Simon area, and you work in Lordsburg, you're going to be 2 hours off all year. Like, so you're gonna have to get up at like freaking, oh, that would just mess with you. Like, say you have to be at work by 8, you'd have to leave at like 5:30 in the morning, because as soon as you cross the state line into New Mexico, you're instantly 2 hours later in the day. And then you'd leave work at 5, and then you get home at 3:30. Like, what sense does that make? I don't know, time is like the weird thing is time is just a, think about this. Time is just a human construct. So, you know, why don't we as a world just go and base it off, like, everybody's on the same time zone, I guess. There's nothing that says that your daytime has to be, you know, when the sun is up. Because there's already, if you're in the far north or the far south, you already have to deal with that throughout the year. So whoop-de-frickin' do, you know? It is, I don't know, I'm not saying we have to use the Greenwich Mean Time as the zero line, or whatever it is, the UTC as the zero line, because that's just a Western designated thing from back in the day anyways. Like, wow, who are they to be so important? But, you know, as a world, just come together and be like, okay, this is the This is the 0 line they were basing all time around the world on. And then you just know, like, you know, say here in the US, we actually go to work from and you'd have to do it by a 24-hour clock, but you know, it'd be like you go to work from 1200 to 2000. You know, that's just your work hours. It's no different than a lot of jobs anyways that have, especially if they have multiple shifts, like a lot of your factory jobs or in the military, where sometimes your duty hours are odd anyways. So what does it freaking matter? You know, you just know when your duty hours are, and if you're international, you have to be conscious of that anyways. International, I mean, if you're a business that does global business, I guess I should say, you know, type of thing, you have to be cognizant of that anyway. So I don't know, that's just my rant about time. Time is just the clock. The time on the clock is just a construct anyway. Like, well, all time is just a construct. There's nothing that says we need to have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour, any of that kind of stuff. Could have been like, you know, we're gonna have 20 seconds in a minute. We're gonna have 30 minutes in an hour. It's just, instead of a minute being how long it is now, it'd be twice as long. 1 minute is twice as long of a time period, but not really, because now you're 20 seconds in essentially you'd have, you know, 1 second would last 10 seconds, I guess, kind of, you know, type of thing. I don't know. It's no different than inches versus millimeters, you know, or miles versus kilometers. You can change time to whatever measurement of time you want. That's just me, though. Instead of having 24 hours in a day, we could separate out our day to be 10 hours. And now we only have 10 of them in a day. And you work, you know, like, I don't know, 5 hours or something a day. That'd be pretty long, really. That'd be a 12-hour day by current standards. But you know what I mean. Network issues when I should have line of sight on the cell tower, and then I just looked over and I'm like, oh, that'd be why I can't see the cell tower. I still usually have strong enough signal right here, but I guess like I was saying at the beginning, I noticed that here the last 2 days, why are you panting so much? Here the last couple days, or last day or so, I've noticed that this one cell tower, without even moving, I'll watch it go from 4 bars of 5G UW signal to 1 bar of 4G LTE. It's like, huh, that would be why the last couple days we've been having weird network issues with our streaming. Right now I still can't see the cell tower, but all of a sudden I have 1.5 megabytes of signal, or of data, up downs. network connectivity. I'm pushing 1.5 megabytes, I guess is how I should say it. My signal hasn't changed, but you should have got a drink before we left, you fool. It's not even that hot out here, and you're panting like it's freaking 90. All because she's been beast moding it full sprint, full send, up and down the mountain. I do have her water dish and almost a full bottle of water. Actually, it probably is a full bottle of water. It's just that it's fallen down in my running vest. Still a little bit of snow up there on the tops. Still a little bit of snow up there. I'd like to go up there, but it's just going to be rainy and snowy. I don't want to be up there. I don't want to be up there. I'd still like to know where this supposed trail that goes up should be, like right over here somewhere. There's a trail that goes up there. You would think you'd be able to see it. Nope, I don't see nothing. Especially being that the first part of the trail is an old Jeep road. I don't see any old Jeep roads up there. And then it supposedly changes into, well, you never know what it changes into. It could be an old Jeep road the whole way, but the map has it into a trail because it's been non-motorized use only for, 20 years or whatever. Hoof does. Well, this run right here will put us over 10,000 feet for the week, which is pretty good, being that 2 days this week we weren't really able to do much because we were traveling. Crazy in the last week since we've been here. I'm watching the leaves starting to pop out on a lot of plants that didn't have any on them just because they've got moisture. I love when you look at this, you're like, we're almost at the top. Nope, not even close. As you get a little higher, you're like, fuck. So the Bloody Basin thing is like right up there. By that peak, there's a loop. Maybe that's not Bloody Basin. It's probably, I call it like the Senator Loop or something. Even though the Senator Highways are over. It's supposed to be so cold. the remain, like after tomorrow. But it's supposed to be nice and warm down by Chirahua, or at least by Douglas, which is just on the southern edge of that whole mountain range. Like Tucson has chances of rain. It's supposed to be warmer, but there is chances of rain on the same days as here, Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday, or something like that. I don't remember anymore. But, and like here, where today is supposed to be like 66 or 68 or something like that, and then tomorrow is supposed to be like 71. Tucson is supposed to be like 74, 75 today, and then like 83 tomorrow. So, but that is supposed to drop down, but not near as cold as here. Like here, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pretty much the whole rest of the week is supposed to be in the 40s for the highs. I think down there it's at least supposed to stay into the 50s and 60s. So I don't know, we'll see what we're gonna do. I might head down that direction, or I might just stick around here. I think we're just gonna head down that direction. So we might run. Tomorrow and then leave, but I don't think I want to do that. So we might just wake up on Tuesday, drive, and then I'll stop on the way to refill my water. So I'm down to my last 8 gallons, I think. So kind of want to fill up my waters. I feel like running right now. I feel like just walking the whole thing, which would be nice. Be a nice little recovery. Be a recovered walk versus a recovered run. That was 1 mile. That was a 27-minute mile. Talk about taking your time. Jeez. You can see the mountains way off on the distance there. Pretty sure those mountains are those the southern edge of Phoenix? I think it is. Are those the Estrellas maybe? Not sure. It's hard to tell from here, but those are quite a ways away. As far away as they look, that should be on the south side of Phoenix, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually on this side. And then I have no idea what those ones are called. No idea. Alright, we're just gonna take our time today. If it's more of a walk than a run, I'm okay with that. Leggies truly do need just some active recovery, and not active recovery as in pounding downhill on a mountain, that's for sure. Over on the flatter stuff we'll probably run, but I think we're just gonna walk on this downhill stuff and uphill stuff. Plus, that'll give my dog a chance to just run around and be herself. Just have fun. Do need to give her a drink. I'll probably give her a drink when we get over here to the saddle before we head down. I need to do some stuff today. Trying to figure out how much money, based upon retainers I have so far, and pretty confidently retainers I'll have for the rest of the year, how much income I'm going to have on the business side. Don't know if I can justify buying that camera or not. Now, here's the bad part is, if I get that camera, I can rent it and make some income that way on it when I'm not using it. The problem is it's like so sporadic when I need to use it that I probably wouldn't be able to rent it to anybody, because, you know, they would want it for like 2 months or something like that. It's like, oh, I need it, you know. You could have it for 3 weeks, and then I need it back for 4 days, and then you can have it again. Like, that's where the difficult part would be. But, camera would be so nice to have. It's just too bad my current lenses I have wouldn't fit on it. That's the expensive part, is buying the lens. The dog was being nice there. I don't know if you noticed that, but she was waiting for me to catch up. She's not even moving that fast. I think she's tired still from yesterday too. She was tired, and she freaking crashed out last night. She ate a little bit of dinner and then just crashed. Like, I was cooking my dinner. I think it took, it easily took a half hour for me to cook my dinner. And usually while I'm doing that, she's just watching me the whole time. No, she was zonked. And then even usually I'll jump up on the bed to eat my dinner, and she just sits there and stares at me, waiting to lick the plate. Well, last night's case, the pan, because I just eat right out of the pan. Why dirty another dish? But she always gets to lick it, because unless it's something that I know she can't have, if there's stuff in it that I know she can't have, because it'll make her sick or it's toxic to her, then she doesn't get it. But most of the time, most of my food that I keep for me to eat dinners is stuff that I know that she can have. I don't really have anything in my van that she doesn't want to have. Chopped onions, that's about it. But I can make sure there's none of those in the pan when I'm done. But congestion or whatever in my throat is just trying to break free. Definitely more coffee or something. Some sort of hot beverage, not necessarily coffee, but even hot water. Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want another cup of coffee, and then I make it and waste it, because once I start drinking, I'm like, I don't really want coffee. And then I just make just a cup of water, hot cup of water, and I'm like, oh, this is good. Or even some sort of like I am definitely on like this lemon ginger tea kick right now. It is my jam. Or joining me. We're not really doing a lot of running. Oh geez, there's some deer through here. Last night or early this morning. We are taking true recovery. So we're just gonna, we'll still run a little bit of it, but we're not walking, or we're not gonna run the downhills really. We'll run a little bit of the uphill. The downhills are just a little too rough on my legs right now. We're gonna, the steep uphills we're walking too. And until we get all the way down the bottom of this mountain, that's pretty much what we're gonna have. And then we'll be able to run. There's my footprints from last night. Oh, this is steep. I did a good job last night of not cooking enough food for 5 people. Like I used a turkey burger last night, and I only cooked, well, it came in a pound, so a third of a pound, so about what, 5-6 ounces roughly. And then I put some veggies and stuff in there, and then all that, and then use some little pasta thing, which wasn't like, the whole package is only like 500 calories, which is way less than a lot of the stuff I eat, which the whole package is like 1,200 calories, and that's not counting the meat, you know. All that stuff. But last night I was like, I felt too full, like I had like 4 bites left, and I'm like, I don't want to waste this. And it had stuff in it that she couldn't eat, like onions in it. I'm like, I can't give it to the dog. I mean, I could have spent time and picked out the onions, but I can't give it to the dog. I don't want to waste it. So I ate it, and afterwards I was like, oh, I ate too much food. And that, which was weird, because normally I'm like, that wouldn't have even filled me up. Oh, now I hear. Oh, they're coming down that road. Quite a few OHVs coming down the middle road right there. That intersects actually on the main road where my road is at. Bumblebee Road down there. Yeah, so this right here, back in there, is the Pine Mountain Wilderness, I think. Again, I don't remember what this is called. But then on the other side of this, I wish we could see further back, that's Massazal. And there's a lot of cool trails back in there that I want to go and try and hit. So we might go there for a few days, but I don't know. Need the weather to get better so I can get up into there. I need to get some training in up there. I only have like not even 2 months for my race. And of course, right now the weather's Well, it's snowing up on top of these. I can't get up there. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be enjoyable. Oh, my dog's like, oh, we're running. We're running. I'm not running very far. Oh, this over here is a wilderness too, but like this little section over here of the Bradshaws, I don't remember what it's called. And that's where those two trails go up. That's why I was saying they're probably an old road. But then because of the wilderness designation, it's non-motorized now, use only. So it's probably an old road, which is why you would think you'd be able to see it. Yeah, this little rocky area right here is really cool. I would think it would be like right in that, but I don't see anything. And there's no way I can drive in there. So I think my closest way of getting in there is to actually just down here, past Bumblebee Ranch a little ways, is where the road crossing, or the creek crossing is, on an old road like this. But it looked so super rough. It was like, there ain't no way I'm even gonna try and get over there. So I think I'd have to park like down there somewhere and then run in. And it's easily probably a 3 or 4 mile run just to get to where the trail going up is. And then the trail going up is probably a good 7 miles. I mean, it'd be a good long run, a good workout, but oh yeah, we're not running down this. I feel like I need to. We'll just take our time, I think. We'll just take our time. There might be a little jogging here or there, but we gotta drop a good, at least 700 feet. Probably more than that. 800 or 900 feet, I betcha. Oh. Probably close to 1,000 feet, really. We drop lower going down here to the trail than where our van is. And we're at 700 feet from the van to the top. Oh no, it wouldn't quite be that because we had more climbing, I guess. So it might be about 700 feet, I guess. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out, because we are at, so we've dropped about 100 feet so far. And we're at 285 right now for descent. So we'll just figure 200. We'll just call it an even 200. So we'll see what we end up with once we get down there. All I know is it looks like it's a long ways down, because it is. Because we'll end this with, there's easily probably 300 feet of vert going back to the van, or more. I don't remember what it is. I want to say it's like 1,100 feet total on this route. I should know. I did it last night. So somewhere, beautiful quartzite. lines just down here. So when I'm on the other side running, one of these peaks over here has a bright white quartz outcropping on the top of it. You can't see it from this side. I've always wondered where it's at. And once you get to a certain part on the trail, you can't see it anymore. So it means it's off the trail. You go around it somehow where you can't see it. So it's like, where is this thing? Tuesdays we're gonna move just because it's gonna be a wet, dreary day anyways. We might go for a run first if it's not nasty out. Probably do this loop just because it's a recovery run, because tomorrow's supposed to be the day I do my intervals. It's supposed to be a fartlek, but I can do hill repeats as long as it's some sort of higher intensity stuff. It don't matter. So probably we could do this loop before we leave, as long as it's not nasty out, because if it's where the weather's supposed to be, I'd rather be driving than just sitting in the van all buttoned up, for two reasons. One, driving is stimulating for her. I don't think it's necessarily good stimulation, because I think it's more stress for whatever reason. Never used to stress her out. Now all of a sudden, it's stressful for her. But only when we're doing like on the highway is only stressful for her. If we're just driving around roads at like low speeds, she don't care. Because she has her tail sticking up, like she's having a good time. But as soon as we get on a highway and in traffic and stuff, her tail gets tucked underneath, and she just starts exhibiting very stressful, anxious type behaviors. Like she sometimes, depending on if it's like really super heavy traffic, she'll start panting, like stress panting. It's not hot or anything in the van, she's just stressed out. She never used to do that. I don't know what her deal is. I gave her, the last day we were driving here, I gave her a like one of those calming chew things, and she did pretty good on that. She was a lot better than she was without, let's put it that way. But usually when we're driving big days, it's like 12, 14 hours of driving. So I don't want to be sitting there giving her like 3 or 4 of those things throughout the day. I mean, if we drive on that was a faster mile. That one was only 20 minutes. If we drive on the other next Tuesday, the most we'll do is like 3 hours of driving, so it's not a big deal, or 4 hours or whatever it ends up being. Not near as much as we normally do. And we'd be stopping midway to fill up our waters probably at I mean, if we're going all the way to Chiricahua, then we would be filling up in Wilcox. If we're going to Madera or something for a day or two, because I really like to climb Mount Wrightson with her, then it probably has snow on it, so I'd have to at least bring my micro spikes. But I don't know if I'd want to take her up that if it's snowy. There's 2 sections on that trail towards the top where it's like a 40-foot drop off, and the trail is super narrow, and with the slope and everything, if it's like packed down and a little bit slippery, I definitely wouldn't want to take her up that, because she would slip a little bit, and I don't want her to fall off the side. But I don't think we'll have any snow, because I saw pictures yesterday and Mount Lemon and Mount Micah didn't have any snow on them. So Mount Wrightson shouldn't have any snow. So maybe we will go there for a day or two. But if that's the case, then I can just fill up right there. They have a water thingy there, although last time I filled up there, it was right after they got done doing their construction on the new pit toilet, and the water thing is right there. And so I don't know what they did, but I had like my first container I filled up, I didn't notice it until I went to use it, but it was it had a lot of dirtiness in it. So I'm guessing they probably had to disconnect the water or something somehow when they were doing the construction stuff. I mean, they were digging like a freaking, you know, pit with a backhoe and all that. So I'm guessing they probably did something with that water, because that water comes from city water on that spigot. Spigots further up, I don't know where they come from, but that water tastes nasty. It's like, I don't know where it comes from. Because there's water points at all the trailheads in that canyon, but the only one that is decent is the one down by the road that goes to the dispersed camping, which is funny because you're not supposed to, like, dispersed camping, unless you pay the fee, you're not even supposed to have access to any of that, because it's all not state park, but you know, it's a Forest Service whatever fee area. It's a U.S. fee area on everything except that dispersed camping area. But yeah, that dispersed camping area, the road going out there, like runs into the very first little trailhead parking area. And there's like an info shack and stuff there. It's manned by usually some park volunteers and stuff. But if you have a pass, then there's no fee. Most people that are out of the dispersed parking area probably don't have a pass. I do, so, but they're very, like you pull into that parking area and it's like, you know, you can't even, you're not supposed to use the toilets or the water or like any of that stuff unless you pay the fee. It's only for fee paying. There you go again, trying to combine words. Fee paying people. Well, I don't have to pay a fee because I have my lifetime pass, whatever they call it, America the Beautiful pass, even though it's the military one. So I got my lifetime, and there, that's free. A lot of other places that you get like half price, you know, to go through things, or I don't actually have to pay like half price or sometimes even full price, depending on the area. Like like, where did I go before? Oh, the Devil's Tower Monument. And this is right after going into like Mount Rushmore, which is, was it Mount Rushmore? Is Mount Rushmore a national park? Or is it a national monument? I don't think I paid anything to go into Mount Rushmore with my pass. But then when I went into the Devil's Tower, I know that's a monument, or like national monument, and I did have to pay. Because I was confused when I went. I thought it worked on everything. And so I was confused when I got there, and they were like, oh, well, that pass doesn't work here. And I was like, I thought it worked everywhere. Like it's a national whatever. Like the thing says right on it, National Parks and Recreation. They're like, yeah, but this doesn't count under. Like, all right, am I not recreating at the monument area here? Like, it's a national recreation. You run into that at some Forest Service campgrounds too. Sometimes that pass will get you free campground fees. Like it's free to camp there. Other places it's half price. And in some places it doesn't count, which doesn't make sense to me. It's like, and the places where it doesn't count, it's like they're selective on which of the America the Beautiful passes will work. So if you pay for the annual America the Beautiful pass, like just the regular one, then it would be like half price or free. But if you have the senior or the military or there's another one, is it like a student or something? If you have any of those, then it doesn't work. It's like, why don't you have all of them then? It's like why are you selective? Just make them all work or not work? Oh man, it is just freaking beautiful out here. It's already starting to warm up though. But man, that breeze feels nice. It's not too cold. It's not too strong of a breeze because I hate the wind. If it's a breeze, I'm okay. If it's wind, I get grumpy. I don't like the wind. It's like I don't like riding around in a freaking convertible if I can feel the wind. You know, at highway speed, I guess I should say. I don't like driving down the highway with my window open if I'm doing like, 70, 75. And if I'm doing like a little less than that, or, like 25, 30, just cruising around town, I'm okay. Oh. Taking it easy on this downhill. Oh, then we get down more to the flat stuff. We'll run a little bit again. Oh, somebody is camped out over in that area. I can see him now. Last night when we came through, I was like, oh, those are fresh tracks. They look like they just came through like the day before while it was raining, the way the tracks looked. And indeed, there is somebody out there. It's a good camping area. I'm gonna have to remember it. So if somebody's over here at this one, I can go over to this one. In fact, I could go to this one for a change, because then you have I would have different distances and stuff to run. Different routes for different distances. Like from here to the top of the plateau across the way would be, what would that be, like 10 miles one way? So 20 miles round trip? That'd be a good Good long run route. There's somebody over here though. They're probably gonna leave today since it's Sunday. Probably leave sometime this afternoon. Seems pretty normal out here. Oh Jesus. Erosion is steep. The steep cuts. I do really want to explore. We went up. I don't even know where the road is now. Somewhere over there. Oh, it's over there. I can see it now. We went up that way. All I know is it looked, once we got up there, it looked like we were all the way at the top up here, which we weren't even close. But there was a gate, and it looked like it continued on that way. But there's nothing on the map that says anything continues on that way. But it was so freaking windy when we were up there, because that was what, 3 days ago, that I didn't want to stay up there. And it was cold. I wasn't dressed for cold 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I didn't want to push on, but I'm curious where it goes. Sliding. I have my shoes that don't have much traction left on them on right now, so it's hard to grip on this steep stuff. Hard to grip on the steep stuff. Oh, what do we have for? Let's change it to here, actually. Oh yeah, we're I said we were going to drop about 1,000 feet. We are dropping about 1,000 feet, so and our trail we're actually going to hop on is right over on this ridge line right here. I don't know where. At one point we'd go over. It might be up that way further. But we got to go all the way down there in order to get on it. There's a hawk. 2 hawks or 2 eagles or something flying around up here. Definitely not. They look too big to be a hawk. Probably eagles. Do they have eagles down here? Maybe it's a condor or something. Looks too big to be a hawk though. But there's 2 of them circling around looking for an easy meal. Hopefully they don't think my dog is an easy meal. She's given up on me. She's way up there. She's like, you're taking too long. I'm just gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna have to dig freaking cactus needles out of her again. She will just get like right on in this freaking prickly pear. Like, it doesn't bother her at all. She's like, I know there's a rabbit in there. And then I have to spend like 2 hours picking out freaking cactus needles out of the top of her head and everything. Like, even this morning, I was freaking just like giving her scritchy scratches as we were waking up, because she does this like little stretchy thing, kind of a little groany, little stretchy thing in the morning. Likes to have the little, you know, her tummy rubbed and stuff, and I went over, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like the inside of her elbow, I guess you would say, on her front leg, like type of, that's not really what it is, but I'm like, what the heck do you got in there? Like, I could feel something, and then I got to looking, and out here I pull this just huge freaking mesquite thorn, and I'm like, how have you just been sitting around all day with that thing in your freaking leg? What the hell, dog? And it was, like I said, right on the inside of it. So if she went walking anywhere or bent her leg, you know that thing is just digging into her. It was stuck in there good too. I had to like get a good hold of it with my fingernails to pull that thing out of there. Oh, this is just what my legs needed. More of a stroll than a run after yesterday's 22 miles. I said 21 miles in my Instagram post, but then I actually added the mileage up and it was like 21.9 miles, so basically 22 miles. Surprisingly though, yesterday we only got 3,000 feet of vert. I thought it would have been a lot more than that. It felt like we were climbing forever, but that would make sense because even though we were running uphill for 4 miles, it was only at like a 6-7% grade, so of course you're not going to get that much vert. Which, by the way, I set a PR somehow on that, even though there was no way I was running as fast as I've ran that before. Last time we ran up that thing way faster, so I don't know. But it said I had a PR. Maybe I wasn't wearing my watch last time we ran that. Because I do be like that sometimes, where I'm just like, I don't feel like wearing my watch. I want to set a mode on my watch that I can just switch to, that the only thing it shows on it is maybe distance and vert, nothing else. Just so I know how far I'm going, but I can't see heart rate, or I can't see pace. I can't see, any of that kind of stuff. Because that's the only reason why I don't wear my watch sometimes, is so I don't pay attention to what my pace is or any of that kind of stuff. And I just run by feel. Look at the bottom of that toe. I think I did get a blister yesterday, because I kind of feel it today. I didn't feel it last night, but I feel it this morning too. Gosh dang, I'm tripping over these rocks because they're moving about. I look at this little area right here and I'm like, in one way I look at it and I'm like, I could make it up that in my van. But then also I look back at it and I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't want to. Could I? Yes. Should I? No. I think a lot of people are amazed where I make it up in my van a lot of times. I watch all these videos, these people that, build out these vans. Either Sprinter vans, or usually it's a Sprinter or a Ford, because those are your only two options for, unless you do put in like a conversion kit for like a Dodge or a Nissan or something to convert it into four-wheel drive. Ford is all-wheel drive and your Sprinter is four-wheel drive. But they put like these off-road kits in them after they, and all that, and I see them testing out stuff and I'm like, you know, looking at these roads that they're going up to test out this 4-wheel drive, and I'm like, that's like just a regular like gravel road that we just drive around in Montana. That's not even like what we would consider an off-road road. Like, what the heck? Like, what do you, how is that testing anything? Then I'll be like, I'll see them going up a road. Or like I watched one guy, he was testing this new van build he did, and him and his girlfriend or wife or somebody were gonna go out in this one area to go camping. And they got to this one spot in the road, and they're like, there's like some water and stuff, and they're like, I think we're gonna camp right here. I don't feel safe, you know, going any further on this road. And I'm looking at it like, dude, you don't feel safe going on that? Definitely don't go riding around with me in some of the places I go in my van, because like, even he would never, like, he wouldn't feel safe going up the road where I'm camped at right now. Like, now, do I wish I had just 1 year later? Yes, because they have the EcoBoost, and I hear a lot of things about the EcoBoost being underpowered and all that kind of stuff, but it's like, okay, that EcoBoost has way more power than my little frickin' V6 I have in my van right now. So I would love to have that EcoBoost with my off-road kit and my bigger tires. Which I really want to get some, I want to go one size bigger, but I think I need, before I do that, I would need to replace get the Bilstein struts and the different lower arm, control arm for my front suspension. The rear, I'm good. But the front, I think I would be able to do bigger. The next size bigger is actually a little bit skinnier as well. I mean, you can get wider, but it's a lot wider, and I actually don't think I would be able to put that on just because of the, I think it would be rubbing my strut arm, unless I somehow went with like an offset rim or a bigger spacer, but I can't do a bigger spacer because right now the rim, there's like a little inset that the rim fits around, so you're not like hitting your wheel studs. I think if I went bigger, just because how the wheel nuts are and everything, I would risk wrecking my wheel studs if I went with a bigger spacer. So, that being said, I mean, I could probably get some tapered wheel nuts. That would work, probably. But either way, I think I would still risk rubbing my tire on my actual strut. Because even now, if I flex enough, it hits the strut a little bit. There's not much clearance between my tire and my strut. But it's only in like an extreme flexing that I have that worry, or I have that issue. that guy that's camped out is right up here. There's like two really nice spots up there, but they sit right next to each other. So if you're with like a group of friends or something, it would be a great spot, but not so much if you're by yourself. Well, I mean, it's a good spot if you're by yourself, but if somebody else rolls in, you're gonna have a neighbor right next to you. Okay, here's our trail up here. Oh, and it is getting freaking hot. Holy cow. Now it is getting warm. I should have a little bit of breeze because we'll be, right now the breeze is behind us. We should be turning into the breeze. The dog's hot. I wonder if I should just give her some water. Do you want some water? You're sitting in the shade. Clearly, if I ask you and you run over, that means you want some water. Is that all you want? There's still a little left in there. You want that little? No? Okay. Okay. Just asking if you want that last little bit, but geez, don't have to get all huffy with me. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Yeah. When it was raining the other day, I would have loved to have seen the water, how it was coming down. There's like this little, not this wash, but over here is another one with a little, I guess just rock. If you look at it, it's like a rock slide. And by rock slide, I don't mean like a landslide like rock slide. I mean a rock slide as in, if there's water on it, it's like a water slide. Like it's just smooth rock. Bet you would have looked really cool. Like probably a little waterfall or something right there. Saw a video the other day. Everybody, like most of the video you saw was of Jim Walmsley at the 30K. And how fast he was going. But I saw a video of Arizona. That's the guy I was trying to think of yesterday. I was like, I could picture him, but I can't remember his name. But he going down through that wash area, and I mean, they were talking about how there was like, you know, some good 4 or 5 foot, even sometimes more than that, like, you know, rocks to jump off of. It's like pick your own adventure type of thing, however you feel safe. And it was like, man, as fast as he was going even through some of that section, but I'm pretty sure he took second yesterday. Maybe not. I think he did. I was positive he took second. If they were doing free trail fantasy for that race, I would have gotten first and second right, because third I would have got wrong. The guy that took third though, that was his. He set a personal record on that race by like 2 minutes. So he was happy. Or no, that was on the 30K. Those other two were on the 50K. But the guy that took third, or maybe he took second in the 30K, set a PR by 2 minutes. Which is cool to see. Probably because it was a little bit cooler than normal. I think the high was like in the 60s. Okay, we can run this section a little bit now. Oh, won't have to. It's not going to be, whether it's uphill or downhill, it's not super steep, so my legs won't be taking a huge pounding or having to work too hard. If this is a segment, I wouldn't doubt I'm probably gonna be the local legend on this section too. I think this is a segment. Nobody runs it this direction other than me. Probably going this from the other direction, there's a segment. If there is a segment, I wonder what the CR is for that segment. It would have to be from Black Canyon Race, but you never know. You could have somebody just out here doing this 3-mile section or whatever and just ripping it during, you know, not during the race or whatever. Oh man, well, I'm gonna have to grind for a bit going up this so we don't lose the stream, because we're starting to get into that section where for about a mile the signal's kind of iffy because we're on this side of the ridge and the cell tower is over on the other side. But so I'll grind it for a little bit. My legs, they need a little break after yesterday's 22 miles. But we'll just grind it, take it slow. Like I said, it's not steep enough that my legs really have to work hard. I'm trying to let my legs recover, not work. So it has nothing to do with that. I mean, they don't feel that bad today. They actually feel pretty good, other than that downhill, that steep downhill. I can feel every step going down. Uphill, it's not bad. Okay, we got a little bit of signal for a little bit again. Oh, I gotta plug my phone in. Good thing I looked. I didn't start out with 100%, so. It used to like tell me, like in a big message, it would tell me I was, like it would pop up a window on my phone saying, you know, 20% battery left. Do you want to go into power save? And then I would always have to click no. And then it would be like 10% battery left. Do you want to go into power save? And then I'd have to click no. And then it would pop up 5% battery left, and then it would quit. I didn't get no option then. But now it doesn't do that. Like as of an update from, I don't know, like a month ago or whatever. If they did, it doesn't do that anymore. So I don't know what they did during that update, but it's probably like a lot of the other stuff where they updated stuff and then like it auto changed a lot of your settings. Which I wish they would quit doing stuff like that. Like it benefits them because they change it to auto settings that is better for them for whatever reason, whether to track your ass or whatever, I don't know. But it's like I had my settings a certain way for a reason. Quit changing shit. Oh, she must be far enough away. Fi just told me that she's without an owner, which means she's at least 100 yards away from me. Oh, I see her up here. She's not that far away. It tells me she's without an owner whenever, because it's connected by Bluetooth, her collar to my phone. So it's whenever she gets far enough away that somehow that Bluetooth connection is broken. Well, that was probably just because she was up here and I was down there. So I had no line of sight on her because she wasn't that far away. Oh, by the way, when we got all the way down, it was 988 feet. That's what we ended up getting for descent. And I said it would be 1,000 feet. I was short. I was way off. I was off by 18 feet. I'm gonna wait to run again until we get up here into the sketchy signal zone, so that I'm not working harder than I want to on a recovery Runday, Sunday recovery run day, Funday, whatever I said. Followers are on Strava are gonna look at this run and be like, "What the hell is wrong with him?" 20-minute miles was he even moving? No, not really. Oh, this is steep. We only got, what, 2.5 miles to go till we're back. So that means we got another mile-ish of uphill. Oh, now we're gonna start losing signal, I'm gonna start running. Now we're right on the backside of this ridge from the cell tower. So I'll just take it slow, fast enough that I'm gonna get through this section faster, but slow enough that I'm not. I should get a little bit of signal right here. Oh, yep, I do. And I got a long grinder. Oh, I got my heart rate up. That little section. Still running again. See if I can get to the top here. And I was like, yes, we're running. Why haven't you been running the whole time? That's what she says. No, because I'm trying to recover from yesterday's 20 plus miles. I don't get to go that fast today. Because knowing her, she's going to make me go out tonight too. Okay, we're almost back to signal again. Should catch it back anytime now. But I'll go all the way to the top here. There we go. Ah, there we go. I think we have one more small section where I'll have to run before we get to the high point. What's going on there? Somehow I had a mesquite thorn in the back of my leg. I don't know how. Rubbing into anything, but I guess I did. Oh, that breeze feels so good. Again, it's a breeze, not a wind. Although it's starting to get on the verge of being a wind. It's probably about a 10 mile an hour right now. I mean, we're going head first into it, but I'd say probably about 10 mile an hour, but it gusts a little more than that every now and then. Oh, my dog. She's having fun. Just looked back she stopped and looked back at me to make sure I was still coming. A big old smile on her face, her tongue hanging out. And as soon as she saw the top of my head, she took off again. This little rock formation right there is pretty cool looking. I've never noticed it before. Never noticed it before. Oh wait, why am I running? I'm not supposed to be running. Just felt like I needed to run, I guess. Again, here I'm running. It's hard to walk. That's really what it is. It's hard to walk. I'm like, I feel like I'm moving too slow. Oh, that's two different rocks. That's why like, from back there when I was looking at it, I was like, why have I never seen that before? It's two different rocks. So. This would be cool if you had like a rock on top of it. It'd be like a gate. What you doing, sweet girl? It's a cool little, I don't know, like it's almost like a little gravel bar of some sort. But it's definitely natural. It's not like, huh. Well, even this whole thing over here is the same way. That's cool. Wow, look at the size of that little, I think that's called a cane cholla. I don't see any around here. But I've never seen one that big before. Huh. Never seen one that big before. That's kind of cool. Some yucca. Not a whole lot of that out here, but you see them every now and then. There's a lot of these trees here. I don't know what kind of tree it is, and then there's a lot of that, of course. Well, this area. I heard the name of whatever that green tree is, because you look at it and it's like, you know, it's all green. I think it does get leaves on it, but it is like bright green. It's because their bark. Oh, I need to run up this. Oh, maybe not. Their bark has chlorophyll in it or whatever, just like leaves do, which is kind of crazy. Here comes a biker going 500 miles an hour. At least my dog is not here, so that's good. Let him go by. Hey, guys. Good, how are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Yep. He knows the rules, obviously, because he was gonna stop to let me go by, but I motioned for him to go. So I was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, dude, you're traveling. I'm not. Oh, I gotta run a little bit because the signal just went out. Gotta get back up here to the top. There's that other section I was talking about anyway, so. This section for me will forever be known as my place I had to do an emergency poo. I think it was actually my first run ever out here on this trail, too. Oh, I can see the cell tower now. I should be good. Should be good. Why are you not coming back yet? Cell tower's right there. I don't know. I guess we'll run a little bit further. I don't know why it's not. I can run further, but oh, there we go. Now the signal finally came back. I'm like, I got a line of sight on the cell tower. I can't get any better. Oh gosh, I just kicked that rock. Oh. Okay, I got quite a few things I need to try and get done today on the computer. I did not get anything done yesterday on the computer because I was in total trying to let my legs rest, and because she was zonked for a lot of it too, I didn't have any room to do anything. If she like really zonks out, she just sprawls out, hogs up the whole bed, and then I have no place to put my mouse pad and all that. Which, I mean, I have a touchpad on my laptop, but it makes working on things a lot longer. So if I can't be efficient, I'm like, I don't want to do it. Well, there's still quite a bit of snow over on that mountain. That's unusual. Like, I didn't notice that yesterday. But, where are you going? We're going this way. Sorry. She like headed back on the trail going the other way, like either because she thought I was back that direction, or she thought that was the direction we were traveling. It's like, where are you going? We're going this way. And then when I called her name, she finally stopped and looked back at me like, oh, we're going that way. Oh, okay. Well, there's the road we came down right there off of the ridge. I never noticed there was a couple big trees over here. We're gonna have to go explore that because we're not too far away from that on the road, on the ridge line. Be kind of cool just to go up there. She does go over there quite a bit. I wonder if like deer and stuff hang out in that little tree area there. Oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. I call Rachel today too. I have not heard anything from her. I don't know if she has some things going on this week, but oh man. A mile ago, just because she's hot. She sees something. Look at her. There's something in there, some sort of critter. She don't know what it is, but she heard it. That's a crazy pup. I'm gonna say crazy girl, but girl has nothing to do with it. She's just crazy. She could be a boy dog and be just as crazy. It's like a conversation I had with my mom when she was talking about how she quit going to PT after her knee surgery because she had a man physical therapist. And I'm like, what does that have anything to do with it? She's like, he was rough on me. I go, compared to what? Like what does him being a man have anything to do with it? You could have had a female physical therapist and she'd be just as rough on you. But she was comparing it because when she had her shoulder surgery, she had a female physical therapist, and the exercises that she was doing there were rough on her. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're comparing two, yeah, and if you had a man physical therapist when you had your shoulder surgery, he would have been giving you the exact same exercises as the female, and he wouldn't have been rough on you. Like, you're talking two different total surgeries. Like Mom, why? Like, that's the thing I don't get. It's like, what does that have anything to do with the other? Making a correlation, not a causation. That's why I say her being a crazy girl has nothing to do with it, because she's just a hi. Okay, thank you. Because she I've seen lots of videos of male Vizslas, and they're just as crazy as her. That's just a Vizsla. She's just a crazy Vizsla. She's not a crazy girl. She's just crazy. So I keep trying to check myself, because every now and then I'll be like, oh, she's just running around like a crazy girl she is. And it's like, running around like a crazy girl. Why is a crazy girl any different than if a crazy guy was running around, you know? I saw a video the other a while ago, and maybe it's just because I've been in the running space for so long, and you know, since I was like, 12 years old, I was doing track and field and stuff, and I mean, I get what they were saying. They had a video, and it was just asking these random strangers to run like a girl, and I got something in my sock all of a sudden. That's not good. A little little spiny bristle thing. I got in my sock. And then you see these people that are running around, like what they think a girl looks like. And I'm like if you asked me that question, even back when I was a kid, I would have never ran anything like that, because I've been around, like I said, since I was like 12 years old. Doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy, everybody ran. If you're like a track and field person or a runner or whatever, then you run. There's no you don't run like a boy, you don't run like a girl, you just run. So I was like, it was interesting to see that video, because to know what a lot of other people think, type of thing. One of my last PT tests that I ever took in the military, because I wasn't worried about time or anything like that, I always wanted to run the 2-mile portion of the PT test, like Phoebe from Friends, when she goes running and she's like, and Rachel's making fun of her, doesn't want to run with her because she runs all funny. And then she explains that the reason why she runs like that is because it's fun. It's like, don't you remember when you were a kid and you're just, you would just run so fast that, like you felt like your legs couldn't keep up, or you know, whatever, and it was just fun and all that. So I ran my last, I was actually like my second to last PT test that I ever took, and I ran the 2 mile like that, like Phoebe from Friends. I mean, I still ended up running like a, I don't know, it was like a 13-minute 2 mile, so what is that, 6.5 minute miles pace for 2 miles, like Phoebe. I mean, normally I would run like 10.5 minute, or actually towards the end there I was lucky if I was able to do 12-minute 2 miles. Which you think that, wow, that's not very fast, but you got to remember, you've already, by the time you get to the 2 mile run, I mean, this was when you were doing the 3 event. Now it's even harder yet, because it's like a 6 event PT test. You're like destroyed by the time you get to the 2 mile run. Like, most of my military career, you were doing, you know, as many push-ups as you could do in 2 minutes. And you can't, like, it's not like you can get rest, you know, in between. It's like you're constantly just going until you just can't go anymore. And I would usually, you know, I would usually knock out between 80 and 90 push-ups in 2 minutes, which doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but figure that's almost 1 per second for 2 minutes. Like, if you did 1 per second, you're knocking out 120. So if you did 1 every 2 seconds, you're knocking out 60. So it's more, like almost 1 per second. And then you would knock out as many sit-ups as you could in 2 minutes. And the same thing, like your only authorized rest position for the push-ups was with your arms fully extended, and you couldn't like rest your stomach on the ground or anything. Like, you had to be up. And for the sit-up, your only authorized rest position was in the up position, which means, you know, you're engaging your hip flexors and core muscles to rest. You can't be, it's not laying on the ground or whatever. And I would usually knock out between, you know, 80 and 100. Usually in the, yeah, even over 100 sometimes. Usually in the 90s is what I usually got, like 94, 95. Which is way more than what you had to get the maximum points. But I always had to outperform everybody, or try to anyway. Because you'd always get the younger kids that'd be like, oh, well, you only got a 300 on your PT test because you're older, so you don't have to do as many. It's like, oh, you should look at my raw score, because I did more than the max for the, you know, the, what would you call it, the hardest age bracket. So, which was actually not the 18 to 23 or 24. It was the second one was usually the toughest age bracket, like 24 to 32 or something like that. But, and so doing all those sit-ups, like your hip flexors, which you use in running a lot, would just be fried. So not only is your upper body fried, so swinging your arms feels hard, then your hip flexors would be fried for doing the sit-ups, and now you have to go and try and run a fast 2 mile. So it was like, to run a, you know, 5.5 minute 2 mile, which is about the max I ever did most of my career. I did have one a little bit faster than that. I had a think 5:20 mile pace was the most I ever did for the 2-mile run for 2 miles, because it was like a 10:48, I want to say. It was my fastest time ever. But then again, you think, like, you say that to a normal person and they're like, well, that's not very fast. That's like, that's not even a 5-minute mile pace, you know? Like, but yeah, try and do that after wrecking yourself doing push-ups and sit-ups, though. Like, if you were in the sub 10-minute mile club in the Army, you usually were not maxing your push-ups and sit-ups out of anybody. You get the occasional person that were just freaking phenomenal, but for the most part, you're not doing that. Like, there were not very many people that did that. And then it was always funny because you'd always, like when I was coaching the National Guard marathon team, you were reaching out, you see these people that would have these 10-minute 2 miles, and you're reaching out to them to see, hey, do you want to join the marathon team? Well, back then I didn't know what I know now. I fumbled around as a coach, and the people that ran that, they weren't necessarily your good marathon runners. So knowing what I know now, I'd be able to look at people's APFT scores and be able to discern a little bit better. Because you want endurance, not necessarily, because you say, oh, 2 mile, that's a long distance. No, it's not. It is not. It can be long distance for somebody individually, but it's not. Like, I wouldn't even consider these people that run these fast 5Ks, like these 5K specialists, as a long distance runner. 10K, now you're getting more into it, but if you're a fast 5K runner, that doesn't translate into being a fast marathoner. You can work at it and you can become a fairly fast, if anything, you can become a fairly fast marathon runner. It is like different type of training and working and stuff. I mean, 5K specialist just is like a good baseline for you, I guess. Is that the guy, our neighbor? Because that looks like his vehicle down there. Maybe he had to take off and go get some more food or whatever. That definitely looks like the vehicle that's been parked up next to us. I didn't even look back this morning to see if he was even up there, but I guess we'll find out if he turns left up here. No, he's turning right over there. That does look like his vehicle. Nope, he's still sitting up there. I can see him. That is the exact same vehicle, almost. That's why I was like, that isn't necessarily like a I'm gonna go off-road 4-wheeling vehicle, even though this guy's doing it. He's doing it. See how far he gets, because I know that road gets horrible. Oh, it looks like he's stopping, so he didn't get very far. Yeah, he's backing up now. I think he decided, oh no, maybe he's just gonna take a different line. Yep, he's gonna go to the left. Oh no, he's turning around. Okay. Well, he actually parked. He's getting out now. Okay. I was gonna say, that is not an off-road vehicle that guy's driving. So, and I know what that road is like over there, because I tried to go down in my van and I decided against it. Like, it was doable, but my, you know, everything would have been tossed about in the back of my van because I sway back and forth. Like, plenty enough ground clearance and ability in my van. Is just a lot of times when I limit what I drive down on my van, it's nothing to do with the capabilities of the van. It's because I don't want to pick up everything out of my pantry and cupboards and everything, which I've learned I don't have anything glass anymore in my van. I do not keep anything glass because unless it's in my refrigerator, I do have, you know, a couple bottles or whatever in my refrigerator, but I don't have to worry about that. Okay, well, this is the first of our last two little draws we have to go back into, where sometimes I lose signal, so I might actually run through this to make it so I don't lose signal. They do a little corridor maintenance right there. So just bring my nippers and work on that. Shadow in here. I'm gonna trip on a rock because I have my sunglasses on. That was a 1640 mile. That wasn't too bad compared to how fast we have been going. Of course, when I'm walking a 17-minute mile through this. So it's not like the first mile, it was a 28-minute mile because we were going uphill, or even that second mile, which ended up being a 21-minute mile because it was steep downhill. Well, it included some steep downhill, I guess. I do wonder, people like this guy that is just in his vehicle that is, you know, just like that. It's just like a little SUV wannabe. I mean, it's a current SUV, but the current SUVs are like minivans pretty much. Oh, she found a rabbit. The rabbit lost her though. But it's like me, if I had anything smaller than my vehicle and didn't have everything I have, I would be so bored living this type of lifestyle. Like, it would suck. There was one girl I used to watch on TikTok that I used to follow, that she had like an old school van, I don't remember what her name was, that she had built out, and then she ended up there's some OHVs over there again. I think the transmission went out or something, or maybe her engine blew up, I don't know, on the van, and she couldn't afford to redo it, so she, oh, they must be on the main road. I don't see them. So she got rid of that, or like sold it or whatever, and then just bought like this car, and like a sedan. Even it wasn't even like a freaking hatchback or anything, it was like a sedan, and she lived out of that for like a year. And she talks about, oh, I loved it and all this. And she had like a little Blue Eddy. Not gonna do a lot. But she, oh, I gotta get through this draw. Then I'll finish my story. Okay, we're back. Anyway, she would like sleeping at night. She had like on the back seat, you know, she had that trunk pass-through thing, and the way that that went down, she would, you know, put her legs into her trunk and like, and then have her like her shoulders and head and stuff on the back seat and all that. And that's how she like slept at night and whatever. She talks about how she really liked being in the car and everything, but it's just kind of funny how it wasn't too long of her doing that, and all of a sudden she was, well, a couple things. The start of it was she was at some, I don't know if it was a music festival or that type of a thing, and met some guy, and then ended up going to like Mexico with him, and then ended up going somewhere else with him, and then obviously broke up with him. I think she was just, he was a rich guy, so she was just mooching off of his money, I think is all it really was. It was probably he broke up with her or whatever, or ended it. I don't know, it's not like they were boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. But, and then immediately after that, she was like, you know what? I want to be a flight attendant. So she became a flight attendant and has like an apartment and all this kind of stuff now. It was like, it just makes you wonder, like, yeah, you say you liked being in the car, but you sure weren't in that car for very long. So if you had your van and whatever, would that have changed things? Obviously that lifestyle didn't agree with you if you all of a sudden decided to do whatever. And it's like these other people, I started watching on my YouTube because they were doing van life, traveling around. I think I first started watching them when they were doing the Pan American Highway like 5-6 years ago. My dog's down there doing something. She's pointing at something. I'll just keep going. And then they ended up quitting the van life and living in Florida for a little bit. And then they just up and moved to Portugal, bought some property in Portugal, and have been renovating it. And they bought a camper while they were over there. So they were kind of living that lifestyle again, but that was just while they were renovating their Portuguese place, which I still think after like 3 years, I still don't think they're living in that place yet. It's an old like water mill. But it's like, the funny thing is these people pretty much, before I even like started watching them on YouTube, they're living my life. Like, I've been wanting to drive the Pan American Highway for, you know, since I was like a little kid almost. And then at least last 10 years, like they moved to Portugal 4 years ago, I think, when they bought their land. At least the last 10 years, I've wanted to go move to Portugal. Mostly because of their food. I still want to go move to Portugal, but I guess I could. If I was to sell my condo here, I definitely could. Maybe that's what I'll do. Move to Portugal. Like was it 2 years ago when I spent a month there in Lisbon. Lisbon gets a bad rap a lot of times, but man, I loved it. I freaking loved it there. And I went and explored out of the city as well. Like I went to that national park on the other side of, the hell is that famous city outside of town? I don't remember what it's called. I took a day trip out to that city knowing that I had access to trails going into the national park, and so I did that. The town was cool, Sintra. So I did a day trip out to Sintra. It's like an hour on the train, and we immediately went out to the trails because it was kind of gloomy in Sintra. The park definitely looked like it was more opened up. But ran out there in the park. I didn't get as far out as I wanted to. I was hoping to get all the way to the coast, but that was too far for me to go. It would have been about a 35-mile day if I would have hit the trails out to the coast. I could have like got an Uber or something to drop me off like out there, and then I could have ran back to Sintra, but and then when I got to Sintra, I had a lot of fun just exploring that city a bit. It's just kind of funny because before friend Chris Warden, I would actually consider him a friend. I mean, we're probably more acquaintances, but I would consider that dude a friend. Like if he called me up right now and been like, hey, can you help me do something? I'd be like, hell yeah, I'll help you. But he was doing a trip to Portugal last fall. He hit me up. He sent me a message beforehand. He was like, hey, I know you spent, a lot of time over there. Is there like anything that I should see? And I was like, well, if you go to Lisbon, and he was going to spend some time in Lisbon, I was like, go here and here. And I go, and if you can take a day, make the train trip out to Sintra. And he did that, and he was like, dude, thank you for that recommendation. That was so cool. I'm like, telling you, I spent 3.5 weeks exploring that whole area right there. And I was like, there's that park right close by too. That's kind of cool. The Monsanto or something. I think it's Monsanto Park is pretty cool, and that's like this huge ass park. Right in the middle of the city. It's right adjacent to Old Town. And it's basically a mountain. Not really a mountain by Western US standards, but I think I was able to get like 600 feet of vert going to the top of that thing, but you could weave around that and get like tons and tons of vert. There was an old like military base on the top of it, so you couldn't explore around a lot of the top. It was blocked off, but cool park to run to from where I was at downtown, or in Old Town, because I stayed in Old Town. And then even in Old Town, there was some cool ass areas, like sections in the Old Town that were So cool. Whew. I mean, I ran, I don't remember what it was. I looked it up, or I calculated it up, and it was easily like somewhere in the nature of like 450 miles. Just in that area, like the downtown or Old Town, along the waterfront. Well, and that Centra area. Oh, this puddle's almost gone. She's drinking. And not much left there, is it? It's not even ankle deep anymore. Yesterday when we got back from a run, it was like halfway up her legs still. That was barely over her toesies. She don't mind. Dirty water tastes good to her. Has that extra flavor. Okay, well, it is time for second breakfast, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we got well over our 10,000 feet of vert for this week. Now next week, I'm supposed to bump up to 15,000. Week after that, we're gonna be at 20,000, and we'll be 20,000 plus for the whole rest of this training block. Now we've only hit like 61 miles, I want to say, for the week. And I was hoping to be closer to 75, 80, but as long as we met our vert goal, I'm okay with it. I mean, I'll probably still get another 3 miles tonight at least, depending on how we feel. Maybe we'll do the big loop again. I don't know. We'll see. My doggo's doing. I can't see you guys because of the sun. There we go. Now I can see you guys. Gotta get my keys out. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Like I said, I don't know if we'll be doing anything tonight or not. I would rather not, but it's all up to her. If she's getting too stir crazy, then I have to do something with her. And at the most we'll do is like probably a 5K, but I would guess and say it would be closer to maybe 1 or 2 miles. Hi, sweet girl. I'm gonna take your harness off. Come on. I know you want butt scratches, but let me take your harness off. You silly. Trying to take her harness off, and she's going forward because she's like, no, give me the butt scratches. Give me the butt scratches, huh? Well, you're panting because you're hot. I think, you know what you deserve? Somebody deserves a frozen TREAT. Yeah, that's what you deserve. Yes, you do. She doesn't know that I have some for her. I think we got maybe 4 or 5 of them left. Then I'll have to make some more. Maybe we can convince Auntie Rachel to make you some, and we'll go run and get them. Oh, oof, does. All sweaty. But anyways, that's gonna be it, everybody. Thanks for joining me this morning for a nice little lazy whatever we did. And we'll see you guys either tonight or tomorrow. But it's gonna be a warm one today, so we're gonna enjoy it. Bye, everyone. Love you all. See you next time.